Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. Wait a second. Why does this feel so familiar? Is there a different version of me in a parallel universe doing this exact same thing? Alright, I have to tap into my mind. Come on. Come on!
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Halloween Kills, released in 2021.
Wow. I have good hair in a parallel universe. And I'm handsome. Cool. Hi, and welcome back to my channel, hosted by the guy who can't be trusted with anything he says. I'm that untrustworthy guy Zero, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Terror Train, the remake to the 1980 classic which was released on Tubi in 2022. Terror Train, directed by Philip B. Gagnon, sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, who only has 4 credits on IMDb, is one of the many remakes/reboots that was released in 2022, alongside other reboots of classic horror movies such as Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and most notably Scream. Though it's worth noting that Terror Train is a film that is much more unestablished and hidden in the slasher subgenre, so not that many people were inherently excited for this remake to be released. It also had little to no promotional material, aside from a few trailers on YouTube, and a couple websites trying to give it the hype that it never received prior to or after the movie's release, mainly due to the fact that it was produced by Tubi, a streaming service that doesn't really receive much attention to begin with, and also features a lot of very bad horror movies, most notably Ginger Deadman vs. Evil Bong, an absolute shitfire of a movie. However, the only difference between that movie and Terror Train 2022 is that G vs. EB is a bad movie that's trying to be so bad it's good, whereas Terror Train is a bad movie that's not trying to be a bad movie. I can't for the life of me understand how this movie ended up being so terrible, seeing as it was written by Aaron Carpenter and Aaron Martin, who were writers and directors on the Shudder anthology series Slasher, and the latter of which created the series, one of my all-time favorite pieces of horror media. You would think that with writers like them, they would do their best to at the very least make this movie a fun, ridiculous gore fest, but no. Aside from a few good moments of tension and a pretty fun third act, there's hardly anything going on in this movie. Its bloated 90-minute runtime is mostly taken up by long scenes of people just talking, wasted opportunities for a good death scene to happen, and a magician subplot that goes absolutely nowhere and hardly makes any sense in the end. The only thing I can confidently say that this movie does well is that it very meaningfully honors the original, but to be fair, I haven't seen the original, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do with the remake, so that doesn't add many bonus points to this movie's already low score. Terror Train takes place contemporaneously on Halloween of 2022, and follows a group of college students who board a party train to a Halloween-themed bash, where a killer who very often changes into the disguises of people he's killed starts killing them off one by one. It follows a pretty standard whodunit formula that doesn't deliver many shocks or surprises along the way, except for a couple, and if you're expecting this movie to be a bloodier rendition of the original, you'd probably be better off just watching Terrifier, because this movie hardly has any blood or memorable kills to go with it. This thing really doesn't get much bloodier than the original Scream trilogy, not to knock my all-time favorite horror franchise, but yeah, it's mostly just poorly CG'd stabbings from behind and weak kills that literally would not kill a real person. For instance, the scene where that forgettable character, one of them at least, gets his head knocked against a mirror a couple times. I honestly do not think that would kill a person, especially one of his stature. If they made an attempt to have the killer exude superhuman strength, they executed that pretty poorly. The only kill in this movie I actually enjoyed was of that one chick who gets stabbed a few times against the bed by Mark Zuckerberg, but even that kill isn't anything special for a slasher that takes place in 2022. Don't even get me started on that god-awful decapitation. Though I will admit that it was a pretty nice twist to have that character die, especially because we thought he was going to survive, but man, the CG on that decapitation is terrible. Like I said though, this movie isn't all bad. It has a pretty solid third act that features some good performances from both Final Girl Robin Alomar as Elena and Mary Walsh as Karn, who is ultimately revealed to be the killer in the end, though I don't know if she is in the original. And despite the unnecessary magician subplot, I like how effectively he fooled the audience into thinking he sawed into that one girl's arm. I also can't really blame the cast for how bad this movie is, because most of them do give it their all, and both Robin Alomar and Tim Rosen as Elena and the Magician, respectively, deserve to be singled out in their performances. Robin Alomar serves as a good and believable final girl, and Tim Rosen adds a shade of mystery and suspense to the movie, even if his end character arc doesn't really end up going anywhere in the end. But yeah, those are pretty much the only good things I can say about this movie. I haven't seen the original, so I'm not really qualified to judge if the remake compares to the original in any way, but I mainly found Terror Train to be a boring, forgettable train wreck of a mess. But hey, if you like this movie, let me know why you did. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it, and maybe some of your opinions can sway mine, but as of right now, Terror Train gets a rating of 4 out of 10. Anyways, I'm sorry for the length of that video. I know it was a little bit short. I wanted you guys to have something to be held over with until I release greater and better things in the future, which I most definitely will, because I'm very excited for my next video. I think you guys are really gonna like it a lot. And of course, I hope you like this one too, even if it was a little short. And if you did, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and I don't know, comment whatever you want, I guess. Comment poop, I don't care. Just comment whatever you want. Until the next video, my name is Zero, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.